Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Black and White, a podcast autobiography. I am your host, Jordan Black, and we're here today with my cousin, Andrew Littleton. What's up, man? How's your week been?
It's been pretty good.
Yeah?
Thanks for having me on your little show. I've never watched it ever.
On my little show. That's such a... Fuck you. That's such an undermining thing to say. Little show.
Your
Fuck
big
you.
show.
Yeah, your massive...
Your massive OG Mudbone dick-sized show.
Yeah, exactly. And hello to my grandma for listening to this. We were just talking about that. My grandmother apparently listens to every episode of this show. And that's terrifying. Because she's just hearing me just disgrace her name. That's what. We'll have her on, and you'll see how sweet of a lady she is, and you'll be like, oh God, how is she gonna listen to this dude say fucking dicks and balls and stuff all day? That's for 45 minutes. That's disgusting. How is she gonna bear that? But yeah, so I figured I'd bring that up because Andrew was like, "This is gonna be the first time Mimi's ever heard me cuss."
Hi, Mimi.
Yeah. Hey, Mimi.
What's up?
Yeah, you might. I mean, like, it's probably already too late to tell you, "Hey, go back if you don't want to hear Andrew cuss because he's your baby." But you know, it's whatever. So yeah, we're just gonna get straight into the show. Nikolai's not gonna make an appearance this week. If you don't know who Nikolai's the producer of my show. And whenever, usually he does the intro music for it, but he's not here.
I've never watched it, so.
Yeah, I'm really glad to hear that. Piece of shit.
I watched maybe a second of it.
Why? Did you click the YouTube video and go, fuck, this is 45 minutes long?
Yeah.
God. Who's got time for that shit? Yeah, I mean, like, that's the whole thing. Is I doubt many people. I know many people don't listen to it because I look at the views on YouTube. It's not impressive, but hopefully we'll get there. So yeah, and if you're looking at this in the future, whenever I'm like super famous and like I've got, thanks asshole, laughing around. Never mind. We'll continue past that. Whenever I'm super famous and there are like thousands of views on this because people like got into it later in the series and watched it all the way through, then that'd be great. And there's like thousands, so you're like, what? Like, it seems like you're really popular. I was not popular whenever this episode is posted. Okay, I think the last YouTube video I posted got like 9 views. So, well, yeah. So that's where we are in history right now.
We got one that got like 12, I think.
Huh?
We got really excited. One of our URG videos.
Oh really? Oh yeah, Andrew is a video gamer, and they do video game stuff on YouTube. And I guess I haven't looked at any of those, but I mean, it's not that I just didn't know about it. I probably would have checked it out had I known about it. But you guys are assholes, and you don't listen to my podcast, so fuck your show or whatever it is.
It's just us doing what we do.
Yeah, you and Danny and Dutch and Zach.
And now Zach, because he finally got an Xbox.
Yay!
Yay, Zach!
Yeah, all those guys are really cool, and you'll definitely see them. You'll hear them on next week's episode because I'll say possibly now because they're all coming out to Denton tomorrow to do some airsofting stuff. Oh yeah, and I apologize for the episode being late, everybody. I was out at Andrew's house and it was his birthday this week.
Yay!
Yeah, he turned 19, which is the most useless fucking birthday ever. It's super pointless because it's like between 2 great birthdays. It's like 18, fuck yeah, I'm an adult.
I can do porn.
20, it's like, fuck yeah, I'm in my 20s. This is going to be the most exciting decade of my life. And 19's just like, I'm 1 year past the first one, I'm 1 year closer to the next one. I guess that's it. And then there's 21, which is great.
I didn't get any calls from my family on my birthday. You know how sad that is?
None?
Not really. Well, I think Sissy did, but I just didn't call her back because we were at main event and we were having fun.
Yeah.
But usually we get a phone call from Mimi and Poppy every year.
Yeah.
And they sing you happy birthday, and it's awkward, but you love it at the same time.
I think it's just the adult thing. Like, I think that's just what's happening. They're kind of like, well, fuck, they're getting too old. And they're getting too old. Mimi and Poppy are.
I guess. They've
got bigger shit to worry about. They got bigger fish to fry. They're running a winery right now. We're not gonna mention the names. That way you guys don't go and be like, hey, your grandson talks about his dick on the internet and he's funny. Wine, please. I wouldn't want my grandparents having to deal with the people who actually listen to my podcast. But yeah,
because those are the people that like start on one video on YouTube and then just slowly get sucked into the black hole of YouTube.
Oh yeah, I walked into the living room yesterday, and Dustin, your stepfather, was watching YouTube on his Xbox, and he was watching a video of like a dude smelting down iron like bars into ingots, and he's like, "Yeah, but got like about 50 pounds of ingots here. That's gonna give me about $10, and I've got about 250 pounds of ingot total. So I mean, like that's gonna be about $50." And I was like, "What the fuck are you watching?" He was like, "I don't know. I just happened upon this." I was like, "How did it even begin?" He's like, "I don't even know. I don't even know how this began." He's like, "I think I was looking at highlights from a Nebraska Cornhuskers football game, and it just tumbled into this." I was like, "How the fuck?" So yeah, I could see how my viewership or my listenership, if you're depending on what medium you're listening to this on. Oh, by the way, we're getting on iTunes soon. Everybody that's listening, all 6 of you. If you listen, you know I tell that joke every week. Every time I talk to my listeners, I say they're all 6 of you, because I know there's only 6 people that listen to it. Hey, Bethany.
Hey, Bethany.
Hey, Mimi. Hey, George.
Hey, Mimi.
Yeah, and that's pretty much the 3 people that I know for a fact to listen to my show every week. So I've got a story from... We grew up together because our moms were both teenage single moms. So they kind of, they both just stuck together because it was a lot easier to survive with a kid if you had another person with you. It was like, so we pretty much were like, they were roommates and me and Andrew were roommates too. Yeah, and so we grew up together, and I've got a really funny story from our childhood. I didn't even tell Andrew what this story was before this because I just wanted him to just be in the moment and experience the surprise of this story. Okay, so whenever we were kids, my mother and his mother and our mutual aunt all liked this store called Marshall's. Yeah, it's that story. And if you've ever been to Marshall's as a 6-year-old kid,
it's the worst.
You know that Marshall's is it's hell. You know that Marshall's is the worst place ever because they've got toys there, but they're like the worst toys you could fucking find. They're the toys that didn't sell at like the Dollar Tree, so the Dollar Tree sold in bulk to Marshall's for them to sell. So it's like it's even worse than them not having toys. Because if they didn't have toys, you wouldn't go, "Hey, look, a toy aisle." Run over to the toy aisle and then be fucking furious about the shit selection they have of toys there. And so, we hated it and it was terrible. But as kids are one to do, we found a way to make it bearable.
Yeah. So
what we would do is we would hide in those circular racks of jeans and scare the shit out of people.
Yep.
Just scare the ever-loving shit out of people looking for jeans. Just be like, jump out of fucking jeans at people, just at old ladies and stuff. We were terrible kids. I mean, if we saw us doing that shit now, we'd be like, "God, what a bunch of fucking hooligans." Can someone raise those kids better, please? Right. That's what we would say. And so we were doing that for about 30 minutes one time, which is a long-ass time to be in Marshall's scaring people. So we really ran up the clock on that one and ended up scaring one too many people, and a manager ended up getting in the mix and getting called on us. And we actually were kicked out of Marshall's as children.
Who gets kicked out of Marshall's?
Yeah, Marshall's is like, I don't know. Whenever I go into Marshall's, I get this vague feeling of like, just resentment, like just of everyone in their situation. Just like, God, why am I fucking here? Like, what? My kids are just dickheads, and I have to buy them shoes at a discounted rate because I've got 5 of them. So I have to go to Marshall's and do it. Yeah, I feel like every time I go in there, the people that are shopping there, I usually feel that way about. I usually get that kind of an aura about. So yeah, we grew up together. And you're 11 months younger than I am, and my mom, my mom tells me the story. Whenever your mom had you, they talked about. She tells me like, yeah, whenever you heard the crying coming from the other room, you like my eyes lit up, and I was like, baby. And that's like the story. That's like my first interaction with you. That was the first time I ever heard you talk, and then I ever responded.
Yeah.
Yeah. Something they always talk about, which is very interesting actually, is how talkative you were as a baby and how quiet I was as a baby, and then how polarized that became. How just completely opposite it was. Now you're very introverted. Well, I mean, I say very. I mean, around like big groups, you're kind of introverted. But then, like, whenever you get like with me and Dutch and Zach and Danny, it's totally fine. And the adults always like to be like, "You're so antisocial." I'm like, no, he just doesn't want to talk to you guys.
Exactly.
That's how it is. Yeah, man. Like we're pretty much brothers. Like, you know, I have other brothers, and you've heard that on my other episodes.
I wouldn't know.
Huh?
I wouldn't know about those other episodes.
Yeah, you wouldn't. I'm talking to the audience right now.
I know.
Okay.
I'm just letting the audience know again that I don't watch your show either.
That me, as his family, doesn't give enough of a fuck. The person who grew up next to him could not give a shit less about this little show, in quotations.
I said big show.
Yeah, after saying little show, and I'm pretty sure that's trademarked.
Big show?
Yeah, by the WWE.
Oh, yeah, true.
So, I mean, it's not even like we can say it without having
Large
fucking
show?
legal action taken against us.
Large show.
Yeah, maybe.
We don't want to be Meek Mill.
Perhaps.
Freaking, he used the Undertaker's theme song in his stupid rap song about
Really?
whoever that Drake guy is.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
I heard it was like gong, and I was like, no way. He did not do this. And then the freaking druid voices started. It was like, oh. And I was like, no way. Of course he's getting sued by WWE. So.
Good. Yeah, good. I like...
saw that and I was like, yes!
Take that, popular culture.
Like,
fuck you.
Who does that?
I don't know.
I don't know.
MC Hammer?
I guess.
Or, what was his name? Sir Mix-a-Lot. No, it's Sir Mix-a-Lot. I get those two mixed up. It's the second time that I've mixed up those two people in this fucking show. In the 6 episodes that I've done, 2 times I have mixed up their names. Yeah, Sir Mix-a-Lot. He stole the dum 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 from Queen's Under Pressure. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I heard about
and so he got that's why he doesn't have any fucking money, because they sued his ass for everything, like everything he has. So yeah, you and I are pretty much like brothers, because we've pretty much lived with each other our entire lives, except for the first 11 months that I lived, and then for the past like 4 years we haven't lived together. But we my mom still calls you this, and Pop still calls you this, and Mimi still calls you this, Bubba.
Yeah.
And the name actually originated because my mom, whenever we were like 1 or 2, or whenever I was like 1 or 2, whenever you were like 0 or 1.
0.
0 or 1. Whenever we'd be like in the house, she'd tell me like, hey, go get your brother. But she didn't want to fuck us up, because she kept on saying that, but she didn't want us to think that we were actual brothers, And she didn't want to be like, oh man, they're going to have these weird fucking ideas of how like families are or whatever, and they're not going to understand how this works or what kind of a relationship they have together. So she used to have to catch herself and say Bubba. So now you're just Bubba. You sound like a trucker. Bubba. Bubba. Another thing about us is we like to do that. We like to just repeat words. I mean, it's true. Okay, I've got another funny story from our childhood. And honestly, this is one of my fondest memories from being a kid and hanging out with you, because it's so fucking stupid and just random. Oh man. Okay, so one day, I feel like it's in the morning. Andrew said it was like at night. We were supposed to be asleep, but I feel like I remember it being in the morning. We were hanging out, and we decided that we would see how many pairs of underwear we could get on at a time. So we took all the pairs of underwear we had, both of ours. It wasn't like it was just one person's underwear. We stockpiled all of our underwear together and just started putting them on one at a time. And after each one, we would both go, like, we would both put on a pair of underwear. We'd go, I'm wearing 87 pairs of underwear right now. Oh man, were such fucking idiots. And we got up to like 99, and we ended up like running out somewhere in the 100s. And we're like, oh god! And we remember we were like punching each other in the dicks as hard as we could, because whatever you have on 100 and some change worth of underwear, like it's
like you have a cup on.
Yeah, you've got like padding. It's 100 and something layers of fabric covering up your junk, and it's at a very we were kids, so we didn't have like boxers, so it was like tighty whities piled on top of each other.
Those are really hard to get off.
Oh yeah, I mean, we tried to take them all off at a time. Like we tried to just grab all of them, and it was like, oh god, this is not gonna happen. So we had to actually peel them off one at a time. Oh man, but yeah, so we were just like I can't feel anything, just like smacking the fuck out of our balls. Man, that was like exciting times, Andrew. Remember that one time that our moms got in like an argument together, and they were like yelling at each other, and we were freaking out that they were gonna end up moving away from each other. And so we were like in our bedroom hugging and crying. Oh, please don't tear us apart. Shit like that. Oh man, we were such queers together.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. No, there's one other funny story. We were kids. I mean, we're gonna have lots of funny stories. There are so many funny stories that are about to happen. Whenever we were kids, do you remember whenever we used to have like the Nerf guns? We had the rifle, and then we had the pistol. And I remember going like, I was the older one, so I felt like entitled to the better stuff. And I was like, I was trying to pull a trick on you, where you were like, I want the rifle, because everyone wants the bigger gun. Everyone wants the rifle. They don't want the pistol. Pistols are lame. But, you were like, I want the rifle. And I was like, no, you have the pistol because you're the general. And generals don't use rifles. They use pistols. They have sidearms. And I remember we were like, no, I want the rifle. I want the rifle. And so I just took the butt of the rifle and hit you over the head with it. I tried to murder you in cold blood.
For a Nerf rifle?
Do you remember that?
No.
Probably because I hit you in the head. Oh man, I fucking hit you hard too. You were laying on the ground crying. I was like, what the fuck is happening here? I was like, this motherfucker. He didn't want to use the pistol, and I wanted to use the rifle, and I'm older, and I'm stronger, so I hit him in the fucking head with the butt of my gun. What are you gonna do about it, lady? You gonna fucking pull the Geneva Convention on me? Man. Whew, that was good times. One thing that you and I both have in common that kind of was a bonding thing for you and I was video games.
Yeah.
Whenever we were little kids, we used to play video games together. Do you remember what the first video game we ever had together was?
Excuse me. Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, PlayStation 1.
Yeah, dude. That fucking video game
That game, to this day, that's the only game I've never beaten. I still have not beaten.
It was hard when we were kids.
It was hard.
And, like, I remember it was fucking scary sometimes, too. Like, with the cloaked figure, whenever Voldemort, and so you'd be walking through the shit, and then at the end of it, there'd be a cutscene of some cloaked figure watching you doing it, and you'd just be like, oh, fuck! Oh, God!
It's terrifying.
I know, it's super fucking scary. And I remember the funnest part of it was the chess thing. I remember that at the end.
Chess.
Yeah, they had like a little chess mini game.
Yeah. That was so hard.
Yeah, that was the part that we couldn't do because neither of us knew how to fucking understood how chess works. But yeah, I remember
it was way harder to beat it back in the day because it was a PlayStation 1 game and we played it on a PlayStation 2. And if anyone from the 90s knows, if you don't have a PlayStation 1 memory card, you can't save that game. So our PlayStation was left on for weeks at a time. Because if you turned it off, it starts over.
Oh, man.
And I remember a couple of times my mom would turn it off and we were like, no!
Yeah. What have you done?
Why?
Oh my goodness, man. Fucking good times. There was another game that we both loved and hated really bad as kids. That was Jango Fett Bounty Hunter. Oh man, that game was so ridiculous.
So awesome though.
It was a great game. Yeah, I remember like whenever we were really young though, like we couldn't even get past the first level. It
Remember
was
that one level where it was just constant shooting and shooting and shooting, and then we get to like this pretty place. It has like a waterfall.
Oh yeah, you're in the jungle.
And the skies are blue and the sun's out, and you're like, man, this place is really pretty. Here comes a 4-eyed tiger and rapes your face.
Just,
fuck, what's happening? And those are the most overpowered enemies in any game I've ever played.
yeah, dude, those things are insane.
Four-eyed tigers are the scariest.
Yeah, man. Oh, that game was so much fucking fun.
I don't even know what they're actually called in the Star Wars universe.
I forget too. I don't remember.
Well, if anyone knows, comment below.
Yeah.
It's that tiger thing in episode 2 that attacks Padme.
Yeah. In the Coliseum. Okay. One more game. It's Star Wars related also, which is cool. Battlefront. Star Wars Battlefront whenever we were kids.
Games of shit.
Oh, so much fun. And we're the fact that they're coming out with another one. Oh, we're just losing our fucking minds about it. I'm freaking out. I cannot wait for November. It's November, right? Or is it October?
Yeah, it's like November 10th, I think.
Yeah, dude. Oh my god, I'm so freaking excited. But I remember we used to fucking play that game forever. Like we used to play that game until the sun came out. Yeah, for like 2 years. That was like the only thing we ever played. Oh my god.
I remember we got the first one, and we didn't even know they were making the second one. We saw like a paper or something that was like,
hey, go buy the second one.
because we didn't have the internet back then.
Yeah.
Back in the early 2000s. It was like, Battlefront 2 is coming out, and we were like, no way.
Oh my god, guys.
We had to convince our moms and do whatever they wanted for like months.
Yeah.
Just to get that game.
Oh my goodness.
And our PlayStation 2 was so crappy, and it couldn't even handle loading it.
Yeah, it would take us like 10 minutes to load a game.
We would wait sometimes up to 30 minutes just to play one map. Remember those days?
Yeah, man. Before they had just fucking like military computers packed into a box with a big X on it. Man, I remember one time you and I were playing Battle. I was playing Battlefield, and you were like, "I want to play Battlefield," and I was like, "Fuck off." And you were like, bitch, I'm gonna turn the... Well, of course we didn't talk like this whenever we were kids, but this is what we would have said had we not been afraid of cussing. He would have been like, bitch, I'm gonna turn this motherfucking game off in the middle of this battle if you don't fucking give me that controller. And I was like, bitch, bet you won't.
I was like, okay.
Yeah, and he fucking turned the PlayStation 2 off. And so I did the only logical thing that a person could do, and I wrapped my hands around his throat and tried to kill him.
First, I ran into the middle of the living room where your mom and Robin were watching TV.
Yeah.
And here we come running.
I fucking tackled you.
Choking me. I'm gonna kill you.
I'm gonna kill you. I was so fucking pissed off, dude.
Needless to say, we had to go to bed early that night.
Yeah, we were in trouble. We were in lots of trouble. Man. I remember, we haven't always been such good friends. We haven't.
Yeah.
There was times where we fucking hated each other's guts. I remember 5th grade. Whenever you were just a mega douche. You thought, this motherfucker, this...
I'm going through what most of society is going through now, so I'm glad I got it done with early.
Yeah,
but
very early.
But I thought I was cool, and I listened to hip-hop, and I'm a little wannabe gangster like all the other little white kids now.
Yeah.
Right now I listen to freaking heavy metal, so
Yeah.
I've changed.
Yeah, you're in another completely different group. But yeah, like...
I love my group.
If you just imagine, like, a tiny white kid... with like hoodies that fit really, really loose and baggy pants and like
Freaking Heelys.
Heelys.
I love Heelys.
Those are pretty white. that was the one really white thing you used to do. And then saying the N-word way too much.
No, I don't remember saying the N-word a lot.
You said it enough to notice.
'Cause I was afraid to say it back then, but
And
now I
not
just don't care.
No, you just don't care.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, you just shouted at people.
Yeah.
God. No, like...
Can't wait to see Straight Outta Compton.
Yeah.
We should go see that today.
We will. Yeah, we're going to see that after we're done recording this.
And do a review.
Yeah, we'll totally. Me and Will probably. I mean, he. I don't know if we'll see it because I'll totally talk about it though on Waiting for a Name next week. Because that's Waiting for a Name is our spin-off podcast. If you haven't been listening to that, you should totally go do that.
I haven't.
No, not you, you asshole. God, I know that you don't care about my dreams and aspirations, so you can just can just sit out this portion while I'm talking to the audience for a second.
I do care about your dreams.
If
I traveled across the country with you on your little comedy tour. Your big comedy tour.
Stop, you're an asshole. God, you're such a.
You did like 3 shows.
2. I did 2 shows, but yeah, it was fun. I mean, I didn't like.
But you did it on Route 66.
It wasn't a tour. Yeah, the first show was on Route 66.
That's
I did like 15 minutes. That was pretty badass.
The second one sucked ass.
We're gonna talk about the tour, the road trip in another podcast. It'll be you, me, and Will. And we'll all sit down and we'll just fucking go on like a 3-hour tangent. We'll split it up into 4 episodes. And
Roswell.
Yeah. Oh my God. Okay, we won't talk more about it because then I want to ruin all the great stories that we have from the road before you guys actually get a chance to hear all of them. But yeah, if you've been listening to Waiting for a Name, it's basically a movie/television, theater, kind of podcast where we talk about our favorite stuff or whatever news is going on or whatever.
I should talk about Fantastic Four then.
Yeah, we talked about it last week.
Ugh.
You should have listened to it. We talked about how people got terrible reviews, and we talked about how we wanted to go see it, and we're probably going to go see it before we do the next episode.
God, don't.
Yeah, we have to go see it just where we can give our opinion on it.
Oh, it's the worst.
I know. I've heard it is fucking terrible. Okay, we get it. We know.
I'm glad Zach paid for it, not me.
I'm glad Zach pays for a lot of stuff, not us.
That's how we're playing tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I remember. But yeah, 5th grade, you were just such a fucking douche, and then you had this like chip on your shoulder, like you were hot shit.
I didn't have a dad, man. I was going through some tough shit.
Yeah, and then Andrew Vinton was living next door to us, and I think that's really weird.
And we lived in a freaking cul-de-sac. I mean, come on, we're San Andreas all the day.
Wait, what was that?
San Andreas
All the day?
all the day.
You could not sound more white.
All the day.
St. Andreas, all the way, man. All the day, man.
I meant to say all the way.
All the way, or all day.
All the way.
But you just fucking.
I mixed them together.
You mixed those two very different turns of phrase into each other. Chew. But yeah.
But being a douche, which is still relevant nowadays, it did give me 2 really hot sisters.
Yeah, definitely.
The two hottest the sisters in 5th grade.
Yeah.
Who are still pretty attractive.
Yeah, they're really fucking good looking girls. Like, they're the Montanez sisters. We won't say their names, but we'll call them C and Y. Man, they were fucking hot.
They were so hot.
Oh, and
C was my first kiss.
Nice. Yeah, I had my first kiss when I was like 5.
And then
this isn't a competition or anything like that.
Y was, I guess, my second kiss, which was right in front of like my first kiss, which was weird. Remember that day?
Yeah.
It was the last day of 5th grade, and I was moving to
Saginaw.
Yeah. And it was weird. She was just like, she was staring hardcore at us. Like, she was just all in our business, and everyone was in our business. You and Scott. I think it was Scott or Andrew.
I think it's because we all wanted you to.
I guess. And it was just weird. And she actually told me, I texted her a couple years ago, when I finally got into contact with everybody again. She was, like, really hurt that day.
Really?
Yeah.
Who, Y or C?
C.
Oh.
Because C never wanted to break up. She never wanted any of that to happen. She wanted to stay together. But I didn't know that. So.
Yeah.
But now she's having a kid, so.
Yeah, they both have kids. Y had like 2 kids already.
Yeah.
And those were a couple of years ago, a little bit into high school still. And then C's
just now getting pregnant.
Is out of high school. So that's good, at least. It's because they're Mexican. And, well, I mean, not because they're Mexican people. There is an overlapping cultural thing that happens with Hispanic people that's more likely to happen than any other race, majorly. It's because a lot of Hispanic people are Catholic, and the Catholics don't believe in contraceptives.
Really?
Yeah, they don't believe, have you ever heard the Monty Python song. Every sperm is sacred. Every sperm is great. If a sperm is wasted, God gets quite irate. It's a song about how Catholicism just is like, don't ever jerk off. Like, don't.
What?
Yeah, that's the whole thing. They don't
ever
masturbate.
jerk off.
They don't masturbate. They don't. Well, I mean, the guys can. I'm sure the chicks can flick the bean all day because it's not wasting anything. It's like the eggs pop out whenever they fucking orgasm.
Then what's squirting then? What's all that?
It's the. Oh God, I can't have to do this on the show. I'm so sorry, everybody. Basic squirt. Okay.
I don't watch squirting, so I never really looked at. Dutch and I were having this conversation. We wanted to know what it was.
It's not piss like most people would like to believe.
Okay.
Squirt is basically all of the natural lubrication that women create to act as a catalyst for a dick feeling great inside of a vagina. And so I'm so sorry, Mimi. This is the worst.
Remember that video we watched with it was me, you, Keegan, and Jocelyn?
Oh,
remember on the projector?
yeah, it was weird.
It was really weird.
Anyway, so
that's when I think of squirting, I see that video.
It's basically just like whenever like an orgasm is so intense that because basically the clitoris is a muscle that goes all the way around the vagina. The external part of it is just a part of the clitoris. The clitoris is a representation of all of the muscles around the vagina. So whenever an orgasm happens, it just goes and just wrenches and the muscles contract really, really tight. Well, it depends on the intensity of what the orgasm is. So whenever a woman squirts, it's a chick's pussy basically just getting wrung out like a towel, just and then all the shit that's inside of it gets pushed out forcefully because it's so tight.
So is that like a good thing or not?
I mean, yeah, it's a great thing if you can get a girl to do that. It's impressive. Yeah. Okay. So this took a really weird turn.
You learn something new every day, though.
Yeah, I mean, I guess. I don't think any of these people wanted to learn anything new about this.
Well, I always thought it was just eggs squirting.
No, it's not. It's not what they
I never looked it up past what we talked about as kids.
No.
And I'm not into squirting things. I think it's weird.
You think it's weird?
I think it's weird.
I mean, if you ever get a girl to do that, like, fucking give yourself a big high five.
I will, but
it's an impressive thing to be able to do. And I mean, like, 60% of women can't even do it. It's just like not in their ability to do it sexually. But the people who can are lucky. Wow, so this is weird. We're just sitting in my living room talking about chicks' vaginal secretion. Fun stuff.
woo!
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, yeah is a word that
Yeah.
Andrew, myself, and Andrew's group of friends, and Will sometimes like to say whenever we're excited about something. Or yeah. We just say it like just anywhere. We'd be like, hey man, Battlefront. Yeah.
We don't even talk about the game.
Yeah, we'll talk about Battlefront.
Yeah. Everybody's quiet, and I'm like, hey, just. We'll be like, what? Battlefront. Yeah. Yeah.
God, our friends are so fucking weird.
At least they don't do drugs.
I mean, for the most part.
Does Will do drugs?
No.
Oh.
I mean, I figure Zach probably does meth.
He looks like he would.
He does. He so does. Oh, man. Zach is the member of our group who's just the best, and also we hate him. Like, he's just, we love him to death, and we fuck with him so much. And so we don't hold back. He has a lisp, and most people would steer away from making fun of a person's speech impediment, but we like to kind of steer into the skid. So whenever Zach will be talking, we were playing video games the other day. We were playing Battlefield Online together, and he was like, well, yeah, guys, so tomorrow. And I went, tomorrow, I love you, tomorrow.
He got off.
Yeah, we just heard bloop. Blood brother has left the party. Oh my god, it's so fucking funny. Oh man, but yeah, so we love to just mess with him, and like he's the best. And that's the thing. I hope he never ever thinks that we don't like him, because we do.
There was a time where he did, I think.
Really?
He thought we replaced him with Kyle Reeves.
Kyle?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We didn't replace him with Kyle.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, we don't hate him. I think he's a very essential member of the group, because I mean, if we didn't have Zach to all just gang up on, we would have to just insult each other at random, and I think that us as a group wouldn't be able to handle it as well as Zach's able to handle all of the just fucking just barraging of hateful comments and just complete just trolling. Man, you'll hear him tomorrow, hopefully, if we get everyone on. Yeah, tomorrow. Tomorrow on this show. But yeah, like sometimes we'll just be like, yeah, man, I don't know. I just feel like I suck sometimes. And they'll go, I don't know. You don't suck as much as Zach does. Like, Zach won't even be in the room. We'll just say it.
Yeah, sometimes we don't even do that. We'll just blame shit on Zach.
Like, son of a bitch, my car broke down.
Fucking Zach.
Damn it, Zach. What the fuck is wrong with you?
No, I do love Zach, because my car did break down, and he did come get me when no one else did.
I mean, I would have.
Yeah, if you were.
I was asleep.
You were asleep.
Yeah.
But
I didn't answer my phone because I couldn't fucking hear it. I was in another plane of thought whenever you called me. Well, you didn't even call me. Pop called me.
a lot.
3 times. Not a lot. He doesn't care about you as much as you think. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, he does.
I'm kidding. Yeah, he does. He cares about you a lot. But yeah, man. Okay, so let's talk about whenever we lived together for that semester of middle school.
Ugh.
Ugh. What?
I couldn't even sleep in my own bed.
Well, I mean, you did most of the time. Like, it was planned to switch off, but then, like, then
your mom just took over.
Yeah, my mom was like, no, we're sleeping in this fucking blow-up mattress. And so it ended up being, like, for a little bit we'd switch off, but then it was like, fuck. Yeah, so for a brief period during 8th grade, the first semester of 8th grade, Andrew, me and my mom lived with Andrew and his family in Saginaw, which they have, it's Dustin, Lala, Faith, Emma, Jenna.
I don't think Jenna was born yet.
Jenna was born yet. Yeah,
She was?
She's 6. And it's only been 5 years.
Oh.
Yeah.
She was 1.
Yeah, she was very young. And then Sissy was living with you guys at the time. That was whenever that was before her and my mom and I, we all moved out. So there was like 8 of us in this house living together. And I was like, oh my god, is this like this? It felt like if the family liked each other a little bit more, it would have been a great sitcom. But we didn't like each other very much. There was a lot of tension because whenever you're living in a house with a bunch of people, it's fucking annoying as shit. Like, we all hated each other. But yeah, we went to school together. It was like you had gone to school in Saginaw from 6th grade up until through all the way through high school. But you had been in school since 6th grade at that point. And we, because basically me and my mom were living in an apartment in Lake Dallas, which is just south of Denton, where I live now. And we were living in an apartment in Lake Dallas, and then we were like, my mom had anticipated having a house in Lake Dallas or Denton before the summer ended. And so she told them that we would probably have a house, so they went and fucking sold our apartment while we were still living in it. Because we said we would probably have a house, but we didn't. So they went and sold it, and they were like, "Well, fuck, we already signed." The
apartment complex did.
Yeah, they were like, "We already have the paperwork signed. Sorry, you got to leave."
That's stupid.
Yeah, that's why we had to live with you guys. And so we were like, all right, we have like a week to fucking be gone. And we didn't know where we didn't have a house lined up yet. And of course, like, it wasn't like we didn't know where we were gonna stay, because our family is very supportive of each other. And if one of our groups of family had to was faced with a situation like that, no one would be like, oh fuck it, live on the street. They would take them in. So you guys took us in, which we thank you for.
Yeah.
In that time. And so we lived there for my first semester of 8th grade, and that semester for me was awesome. As far as school is concerned, And Friends, I was enjoying it. That was a fun semester. And I mean, I wasn't a great guy back then, but I mean, it's not like I was paying for how shitty I was then. I paid for that. Yeah, I've been paying for how shitty I used to be. And I need to do a whole episode about how shitty I was. Just sit down and just let everything out. Talk to everybody about how terrible of a person I used to be. And then I got better, thank God.
Yay.
No, but so I mean, like there were girls that were interested in me and all that stuff because I was a fucking star football player at our middle school, which is a sad thing to say, but I mean, I was a really good football player back then. Like Coach,
I'd have been good if I tried.
Yeah,
I just didn't care.
Yeah, Coach Sanders loved me. Our football coach. He was the defensive coordinator at the high school, and one of the high schools in Saginaw. And he was like, "Dude, whenever you get out of middle school, you're gonna start on varsity your freshman year." And I was like, "Fuck yeah!" Which I mean, people watching this now, or people listening to this now that like went to high school with me, they're like, "This fat fuck." But I was in really great shape in middle school. Like, I was fast and I was strong. And then I just kind of stopped giving a shit. I started liking theater and choir more. But so like football was awesome. Me and Dutch were really close because we were both on A team together, and I was the fullback, he was the running back. So we were just like we were buds. It was a good time, and I miss it. I miss that just that group of people, and I like Saginaw as a place. I don't know why. It's not like I mean, the Denton is an awesome place. And it's a great city, but I mean, I enjoyed my time with the people in Saginaw more, and I like the vibe of it. I don't know what it is. It's just a giant suburb, but I just like it. It's weird. Yeah. And I like Fort Worth. It's kind of my type of town. It's some dingy. It's a little gross, which I dig. I don't know what it is about it, but I dig that kind of like a look. But yeah, how did you feel about whenever, like, what was that year like for you?
8th grade?
Yeah.
As a whole?
Yeah, as a whole.
It's hard to remember. Let me think for a second. That's when...
You were with Liza?
I was with Liza. And she was really awesome up until something happened and she just started going crazy.
Yeah, like right before 8th grade started, it was like, oh shit.
We were together for like a year.
Switch flipped.
And something happened, and her and I are cool now, so
yeah.
I mean, she's apologized for what she's done.
Cool. God.
But it was weird emotionally for me, because I never had someone say I can't leave them or they're gonna kill themselves. That was different.
Yeah.
So I was kind of stuck in that weird situation. I mean,
yeah.
Of course, now if someone started saying that, I'll be like, it's over, and then I would call someone.
Yeah, you'd be like, okay, we need to call up.
But I was young, so I was scared, and
yeah,
I figured she might have actually did it.
I know, because she was fucking insane. She was a crazy person.
Yeah.
But I remember that. I remember whenever, like, my mom and you and me all just kind of, like, were sitting in the kitchen, and you were crying and talking about that situation. And it was shitty.
Yeah.
Yeah. When did you guys break up? I forget when it was that you broke up.
We were kind of off and on, but between that and then freshman year. I would say at like the end of freshman year was when it finally ended for good.
Yeah.
No, yeah, because okay, I'm not going to say her last name, so no one looks her up. But
yeah,
this idiot. She tells me to hold her iPod. This is freshman year.
Yeah.
She tells me to hold her iPod for her because she couldn't have it in, like, volleyball or something. So I hold it, and of course I'm going through it. Not to, like, be snoopy, because I trusted her at that time.
For some reason.
I was just, like, looking for music or something. And then I see a picture of her fully nude. And I was like, I didn't get that picture. So then that's when I started being snoopy. I went through more of her pictures, and I didn't see anything else. So I was like, okay. Then I found myself on the Text Now app, whatever that is, back in the day. And there was this random number, and there was just a bunch of very graphic pictures of her sent to someone else.
Yeah.
And let me say, all of this happened on Valentine's Day.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Oh, it's terrible.
Yeah. So it was the worst.
So, like, how'd you react to it? How did you, like, did you just, like, storm into gym and be like, fuck you, bitch, we're done?
I didn't know how to
Just
react
waving
to
the
it.
iPod in
Because
the
it was really, really graphic. I mean...
Oh, yeah, I'm sure it'd be traumatizing to see a person you've been with for 3 years send something like that to somebody else.
And the funny thing is, she didn't know him. Her friends were just telling her to do it just because.
Wow.
She didn't even know that guy. But, or at least that's what I was told. If she listens, then she can tell me if she actually knew that guy.
Slut.
But, yeah, that's, it was weird. I looked at Ameka, our friend at the time, and I said, Eliza and I are done. And she was like, why? And I was like, you don't want to know? So after class, I handed her her iPod, and I said, we are over. And she was really confused.
Yeah. Rightfully so. Fuck her. Fuck her for let her be confused. I mean, this is so long ago.
It doesn't matter
40
anymore,
years ago.
but it's just funny.
Yeah. Man.
She tried to say I abused her.
Yeah.
She got, like, my best friend Dutch to almost hate me.
Yeah, dude. She was fucking crazy. That woman was a life ruiner.
I didn't abuse her.
Yeah, of course. I mean...
I'm not an abusive person. I'm probably the most chill person you'll ever meet.
Yeah, seriously.
Typically, people that listen to heavy metal are probably the most... Typically, I would say probably 95% of them are pretty
very,
chill.
Yeah, very calm people.
Because if you go to a concert, it's like a brotherhood. Like, I'll just talk to people I've never met before and I'm never going to see before again. So...
Yeah. All right, well, we're getting towards the end of the episode, but thanks for coming on. We'll have you on again. We'll talk more about, like, our later years and more funny stories that we think of, about us being fucking idiots as kids.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Well, thank you very much for coming. That's my cousin Andrew. And make sure to tune in next week whenever we may have the whole group of friends on the show. And if not, it'll be me and Will, my best friend, and Andrew on the show talking about our road trip that we went on for spring break a couple months ago. Alrighty, everyone. Thank you very much for tuning in to Black and White, a podcast autobiography, and have a great day.